Hello students, welcome you all for the today's session. In today's class, we are discussing with the new topic. It is called the pneumatic control valve. So first of all, what is meant by the control valves or the valves, that is very much important. Okay, so the main definition of the valves, it is very simple. The valves are the devices that are used to control or regulate the flow, direction and pressure of the fluid in the fluid power system. Okay, I repeat, what is meant by the control valves or the valves? The valves are the mechanical devices that are used to control or regulate the flow, direction and pressure of the fluid in the fluid power system. Okay, if the fluid used is compressed air or a pressurized gas, then it is called as the pneumatic control valve. So then what is the classification of the pneumatic control valve? I already told the definition itself is saying the valves are the mechanical devices that are used to control or regulate the flow, direction and the pressure in the fluid power system. So based on that, the pneumatic control valves are classified into the direction control valve. That means if the mechanical devices are used to control the direction or the path flow, then it is called direction control valve. Then pressure control valve. So if the mechanical valves are used to reduce the pressure or limiting the pressure, then it is called pressure control valve. Similarly, then it is called flow control valve if there is a change in the direction of the flow. Then the non-return valves. So in the non-return valves, we are studying with what is meant by the check valve, shuttle valve and quick exhaust valve. So this is regarding to the definition and the classification of the mechanical valves or the control valves. Okay, so I repeat, what is meant by the valves? The valves are the mechanical devices that is used to regulate or control the flow, direction as well as the pressure of the fluid in fluid power system. If the fluid used in the system, if it is compressed air or a pressurized gas, then it is a pneumatic control valve. So the classification, it is called direction control valve, pressure control valve, flow control valve, non-return valve. And the very first thing we need to study, it is called what is meant by the direction control valve and what are the types of the direction control valve. That is very much important. As the name itself is saying that what is meant by the direction control valve, the direction control valve, it is used to control the direction or path flow of the air. Then it is called direction control valve of the pneumatic system. Okay, so it is used to control the direction or path flow of the air. Next, it is very much important, it is called based on the number of ports and the switching position, the direction control valves are broadly classified into 5 types. Okay, so very first one, it is called two-way valve. What is meant by the two-way valve? The simplest type of direction control valve, it is called as the two-way valve. This two-way valve contains only the 2 ports. The one it is called the inlet port, that is called P. Why it is represents with the letter P, it is called the pressurized air, it is entering into the port, that's why it is called, it is indicated with the letter P and that is called as inlet port. Then another one, it is called outlet port or exhaust port. Okay, so in the two-way valve there is only 2 positions. The one it is called normally open position, other one it is called normally closed position. So what happens in case of the normally open position? There is no connection between the inlet port and the outlet port. Okay, so what happens in case of the normally closed position? Here highly pressurized air, it is flowing from inlet to the outlet P to A. So this is called as the normally closed position. And as well as 2x2 valve. Okay, that is two ports with a 2 position, that is called normally open position as well as the normal closed position. It is also called it as the straightway position valve. Okay, so this is regarding to two-way valve or 2x2 valve. Next, second one, it is called 3x2 valve. So what is meant by the 3x2? The letter indicates here, the 3 indicates there are 3 ports and 2 indicates there are 2 positions. Okay, I repeat, what is meant by the 3x2 way valve indicates? Here 3 indicates the 3 ports and 2 indicates the 2 switching position. And these 3x2 way valve, it is mainly used for it is mainly used for single acting cylinder, and it is also a very important one. It is a logic choice for single acting cylinder where we need to exhaust the air through the cylinder. Okay, so that's why we need to go with 3/2 wave wall. Observe here I already told P indicates the inlet pressure port, and A indicates it is the outlet port, and R indicates it is the reservoir or the tank. Okay, so observe here. So what happens in case of the 3/2 wave wall? So first it is called normally open position. Okay, so there are two positions. The one it is called normally open position, the another one it is called normally closed position. Observe here what happens in case of the normally open position. In case of the normally open position, here outlet port or the tank port or the reservoir port is blocked, so that here supplying of air it is flows from inlet port P to the outlet port A. Okay, so in case of the normally open position, here the pressure of the air is flows from inlet port P to the outlet port A, and that is shows in the symbolic representation. So because of the inlet highly pressurized air flowing from inlet port to the outlet port, the cylinder is going to extend. Okay, so here the cylinder is going to extend from inlet port to the outlet port. Then what happens in case of the normally closed position? So in case of the normally closed position, here the supplying of air through the inlet port is closed, but here the outlet port A is connected to the reservoir port R, so that here the exhaust air goes into the tank. So because of that, here cylinder is going to retract. So this is called normally closed position. I repeat, so what happens in case of the 3/2 wave wall? There are 3 ports and 2 positions. In case of the normally open position, here the reservoir port is blocked, and here the supply of air from inlet port to the outlet port. So because of the supplying of air from inlet port to the outlet port, the cylinder is going to extend. Okay, after that the normally closed position. In case of the normally closed position, here supplying of air it is blocked, and then the highly pressurized air from the outlet port enters into the reservoir port. So this is because of this, here the cylinder is going to retract and come back to the original position. So this is regarding to the 3/2 wave wall. So next one, it is called 4/2 wave wall. So I already told here 3/2 wave wall, it is mainly used for single acting cylinder. It is also called as the logic choice for single acting cylinder. But what happens in case of the 4/2 wave wall? In case of the 4/2 wave wall, it is mainly used for double acting cylinder. Here what indicates the number 4? So number 4 indicates it is called 4 ports, and number 2 indicates it is 2 position. Okay, so observe here there are 4 ports. The one it is called P, it is called inlet pressure port, and A and B it is called outlet ports, and E it is called exhaust port or reservoir port. The reservoir port or exhaust port, it is finally connected to the either reservoir or tank. Okay, so there are 2 positions, right? So in the first position, observe here the pressure port P, it is connected to the outlet port A, and the outlet port B is connected to the exhaust port E. That means here the pressurized air from the inlet port it is enters into the outlet port, and from the outlet port it is enters into the exhaust port E in the first position. In the second position, the pressurized air from the pressure port P it is enters into the outlet port B, and outlet port B it is connected to the exhaust port E. So this is called as the second position of the 4/2 wave wall. That is called 4 ports and 2 position. Next, fourth one, it is called 5/2 wave wall. So the construction of the 5/2 wave wall or the working of the 5/2 wave wall is similar to the 4/2 wave wall, except that there is an extra exhaust port. There is an extra exhaust port is provided. So that is mainly for the particular advantages in the particular application. That means in case of the 5/2 wave wall, here the power as well as the exhaust are going to take place simultaneously. Okay, I repeat, what happens in case of 5x2 way wall? In case of the 5x2 way wall, so name itself indicates there are 5 ports. That means it is similar to the 4x2 way wall, but one extra exhaust port is provided and 2 positions. It's called normally open as well as the normally closed position. So observe here, and in case of the 5x2 way wall, what is very important, that is called here the power as well as the exhaust are going to take place simultaneously. Observe here, in this position, what happens in this position? Here pressure is allowed to flow from pressure port P to the pressure port A, and simultaneously the exhaust is also going to take place from outlet port B to the reservoir port R. So similarly, in the other position, here the pressure port is allowed to flow from P to B, that means pressurized air is allowed to flow from pressure port to the outlet port B, and simultaneously exhaust air, it is going to flow from outlet A to the S. So this is called it as the 5x2 way wall. Okay, so what happens in case of the 5x2 way wall? The main advantage, it is called here the both pressure as well as the exhaust are going to take place simultaneously. That is the main advantage in case of the 5x2 way wall. And last one, it is called 4x3 way wall. Here the name itself indicates the 4, it is called 4 ports, that is called P, it is called pressure line, A and B it is called the outlet ports, and T it is called tank or reservoir. And what is the meaning of 3? So 3 indicates the 3 positions. Okay, so that's why the definition of the 4x3 way wall, it's saying that it is similar to the 4x2 way wall except additional position, that is called this one, additional position with all the ports are blocked. That means here all the ports A, B, P, T all are going to block, that is no flow is possible in either direction of the cylinder. Okay, so this is regarding to the 4x3 way wall. So in case of the 4x3 way wall, it is very similar to the 4x2 way wall, only that there is one extra position with all the 4 ports are blocked. That means there is no flow is going to possible in either direction. Okay, so what is the application in case of the 4x3 way wall? The main application, it is called hold facility is possible in either direction of the cylinder. That means hold facility can be provided, it is possible in retraction as well as in the extension stroke. That is the main application in case of the 4x3 way wall. Then observe here, what happens in case of the 4x3 way wall? Here pressure on both the sides of the piston is same, that's why here piston is exactly located at the center. Okay, so this symbol indicates the piston is exactly located at the cylinder. Why? Because here pressurized air acting on both the sides of the piston. Pressurized air is acting on both the sides of the piston. Okay, next very important one, this 4x3 direction control valve, it contains the 4 ports, that is called P is called pressure line, T is called return line, A and B it is called as the outlet ports. So then what happens in case of this 4x3 valve? So in the neutral position, all the ports are going to block. Because of that, cylinder is exactly located at the center, and that's why it is also called as the center of position. Okay, so this is exactly the center of position of the 4x3 way valve. And very important one, it is called by switching the any other position. Okay, by switching the any other position, either this position or this position, then cylinder is going to move in the corresponding direction. Okay, so this is regarding to the 4x3 way valve. So I repeat, so what are the different types of directional control valves are available? The one, it is called 2x2 way valve, that is called 2 ports and 2 position, that is called normally open position and normally closed position. So here, so pressurized air, it is directly flowing from inlet port to the outlet port. Then another one, it is called 3x2 way valve. So 3x2 way valve is mainly used for single acting cylinders. That too, it is called logic choice for single acting cylinder in order to exhaust the pressurized air from the cylinder. So in case of the normally open position, your pressurized air is flow from pressure line to the outlet port, and in case of the normally closed position, here pressure port is supplying of air is blocked, but pressurized air it is flow from outlet port to the reservoir. So what happens in case of the 4x2 way valves? Here there are 4 ports and 2 position. So in one position pressurized air is flows from P to A, and exhaust air is flow from B to E, and another position P to B and A to E. So in case of the 5x2 way valve, we are having the one more extra exhaust port. So because of the 5x2 way valve, here both power and exhaust are going to take place simultaneously. In this position, your pressure is allowed to flow from P to A and exhaust from B to R. Similarly, here in this position, pressure is allowed to flow from P to B and A to S. In case of 4x3 way valve, it is similar to 4x2 valve, except that additional position with all the 4 ports are blocked in order to locate the cylinder exactly in the center position. That means it provides the hold facility in either extension or retraction stroke of the cylinder. So that is very much important in case of the 4x3 way valve, in case of the directional control valve. The next topic, it is regarding to the, again we are discussing with the direction control valve, and now the direction control valve, it is classified based on the form or shape of construction. Based on the form or shape of the construction itself, here direction control valves are classified into poppet valve, spool valve, suspended seat valve, shunt valve. So these are the 4 basic types of direction control valve we are used based on the form of shape of construction. Okay, under that very first thing it is called, we need to understand what is meant by the poppet valve. So in case of the poppet valve, it consists of simple disc, cone or ball. These are used in conjunction with valve seat to control the flow. Observe here, in case of the poppet valve, we are going to use the ball or the disc type or the cone types, and these are used in conjunction with valve seat. Observe here, these are the valve seat, okay, and this is the ball. Okay, so in case of the poppet valve, here simple disc, cone or ball are used in conjunction with the valve seat in order to control the flow, and that is called as the poppet valve. So, and the poppet valve, we are having the 2 types. The one it is called 2x2 way valve, another one it is called 3x2 poppet valve. So what happens in case of the 2x2 poppet valve? That is very much important. Okay, so in the construction, what are it contains? It contains one, it is called the push button. Next it is called as the ball and the valve seat. Then it contains the spring. Then it contains the port P and the port A. So, and I already told it is 2x2 way valve. So what is meant by the 2x2 way valve? It is nothing but it contains the 2 ports and 2 position. So observe here. So this is the push button, and this is called as the port P. So and this is called as the outlet port A. So what will be the operation? So operation is very simple. When you apply the pressure on the push button, if the push button is pressed, then this valve stem pushes the ball downwards and this ball lift off from its seat. So this allow the pressurized air to flow from pressure port P to the outlet port A. Okay, so observe here. So this is called normally closed position. In case of the normally closed position, when the push button is pressed, here the ball lift off its seat from its position. Therefore, this will allow the air to flow from the pressure port P to the pressure outlet port A. So this is regarding to the normally open position. So then what happens if the push button is released? If the push button is released, then this spring force as well as the air pressure keeps the ball back to its original position. Then this will going to closes the supplying of air from pressure port P to the pressure port A. So this is the second position. So this indicates the when push button is pressed, and this position is indicates the when push button is released. So this is regarding to the 2x2 way valve. So next it is called, what is mean by the 3x2 puppet valve? So what is mean by the 3x2? So 3x2 it is nothing but 3 ports and 2 position. Observe here, what are the 3 ports? Here the port 1 and the port 2 and the port 3. So port 1 it is always indicates the inlet pressure port, and port 2 it is always indicates the outlet port, and port 3 it is always indicates the exhaust port. Okay. So what is the construction of the 3x2 puppet valve? Observe here. So it consists of the valve stem. This valve stem it is operated with the manually operated push button. I repeat, it consists of the valve stem. It is operated by the manually operated push button, and this valve stem it is also contains the disc, and this disc it is compressed between the disc return spring and the valve return spring. Okay, so this is the construction. It contains the 3 ports: inlet port, outlet port and the pressure port, and it consists of the valve stem, and it is manually operated by the push button. Then it contains the disc, it is going to compress between disc return spring and valve stem spring. So again, operation, when the push button is pressed, what happens? When the push button is pressed, this valve stem moves downwards, and this causes the disc to move downwards because of the moving valve stem. Then this will closes the port 3. When this will closes the port 3, what happens? Here the pressurized air, now it is going to flow from pressure 1 to the outlet port 2. So this is the when push button is pressed. I repeat, when the push button is pressed, this moving valve stem closes the port 3, then the highly pressurized air is going to flow from inlet port P to the outlet port 2. Observe here. So this is the when the push button is pressed condition. So what happens when the push button is released? The very important condition, it is called, now because of the spring pressure as well as the air pressure, this lift of the disc position back to its original position. Now the supplying of air from port 1 to the port 2 is going to block. Okay, but this outlet port it is connected to the exhaust port 3. Now the air is going to flow through it. So this is called it as the 3x2 wave valve. Observe here. Now when the push button is released, here the supplying of air from 1 to 2 is going to close, but here the pressurized air from the outlet port it is entered to the reservoir port. So this is the 3x2 wave valve output condition. Okay. So next, second type of valve, spool valve. The spool valves provide the greater flexibility compared to puppet valve because the flexibility in interconnection through sliding mechanism. Okay, spool valves provides the greater flexibility in interconnection through simple sliding mechanism. So then, what is the sliding spool valve? So the sliding spool valve having the simple piston, and that will going to slide inside the valve casing. So because of the sliding mechanism inside the valve casing, that will going to close and opening the interconnection of parts. That is, it connecting and disconnecting the interconnecting parts, that will going to provide the multi-position and multi-switching position. Okay, so that is called sliding spool valve. What are the main construction of the sliding spool valve? The sliding spool valve, it mainly consists of the plunger as well as the cylinder bore inside the valve casing. And here very important one, it is called, here the piston it is operated with the help of the return spring. Okay, so observe here. So what will be the operation? When the push button is pressed, this sliding valve or the lands of the plunger is going to closes the port 3. When it blocks the port 3, then this will going to allow the pressurized air to flow from inlet pressure port 1 to the outlet port 2. Okay, so this is the normally open condition. That means when the push button is pressed, it will going to blocks the reservoir port and allow the pressurized air to flow from inlet pressure port to the outlet port. When the push button is going to released, what happens? When the push button is going to release, then this lands of the plunger is going to move backwards because of the spring pressure. When it move backwards, it will going to closes the supply of the pressurized air from inlet port to the outlet port, but here the outlet port now it is connected to the reservoir port, then air is flow back to the reservoir port. So this is called it as the sliding spool valve. And next one, it is called suspended disc type of direction control valve. This suspended disc type of direction control valve is very similar to the 4x2 way valve, but it has a suspended disc. This suspended disc is going to opening and closes the interconnection of ports. So here very important one, it contains the 2 reservoir ports, 1 pressure inlet ports and 2 outlet ports A and B. Here this main disc which allow the air to flow from the pressure port to either outlet port A or either outlet port B. But this secondary suspended disc will going to closes the exhaust port whenever it is not required. So that means it is operating very similar to the 5x2 direction control valve. That means here both the power and exhaust are going to take place simultaneously. Okay, so this is called as the suspended disc type of direction control valve. And here very important one we need to study, it is called what are the advantages and disadvantages in case of the poppet valve. So the main advantages of the poppet valve, it is suitable for high pressure application and very minor leakage it is going to possible in case of the poppet valve. And what is the disadvantages? The disadvantages in case of the poppet valve, it is not suitable for large valve size and it is complicated construction and cost is also very high. So next, what are the advantages in case of the spool valve? The main advantages in case of the spool valve, it is simple in construction, cost is also low and it is permanently balanced, there is no leakage is possible. And here the very disadvantage it is called, here adequate sealing is necessary, hence here the surface finish is necessary for both the plunger as well as the cylinder bore. So that is the disadvantage in case of the spool valve. And the last topic in today's session, it is called it as the pressure control valve. So we all know that what is meant by the pneumatic control valves. In case of the pneumatic control valve, here the device is used to control the or regulate the direction, flow and pressure in the fluid power system. And here very important one, it is called, in case of the pneumatic control system, here the pneumatic control valve controls the direction and speed of the actuator with the help of the control valve and the pressurized air. Okay, here very important thing, it is called the controlling of the system, it is mainly possible with the help of the control valves and the pressurized air. Okay, so in the pressure control valve there are two types, the one it is called direct control, other one it is called indirect control. What is mean by the direct control? In case of the direct control, here valve controlling the actuator by the direct actuation, then it is called direct control valve. So what happens in case of the indirect control valve? Here the valve controlling the actuator by another valve, then it is called indirect actuation. Here the valve controlling the actuator by another valve, that valve it is called it as the pilot valve, and the pressure is controlled with the help of the pilot valve, it is called pilot operated check valve. Okay, so first we need to discuss about what is meant by the direct pressure relief valve and then indirect pressure relief valve. So indirect pressure relief valve, it is operated with the help of the pilot operated check valve. So first we are discussing direct pressure relief valve. So when do we using the direct pressure relief valve? Very simple, the direct pressure relief valve we are using when the pressure of the system is above the set pressure or in order to control the system pressure at the safe pressure. Okay, so very important one. So the arrangement of the direct pressure valve. So direct pressure valve, here the poppet valve is used in interconnection with the variable spring. When the system pressure is higher than the set pressure, so what happens? When the system pressure is higher than the safe pressure, what happens? Very simple, here the poppet valve lift off its position, then whatever the higher pressure is available in the system, it is going to relieve with the help of the relief valve. Okay, so this is called it as the direct pressure relief valve. Very simple. So what happens when the system pressure is higher than the set pressure, then poppet valve lift off its position, then higher pressure is going to relieve. Then because of the spring pressure, it come back to its original position, then system is going to transfer the pressurized air from the inlet port to the tank. Then What is meant by the indirect pressure relief valve? So I already told, in case of the indirect pressure relief valve, here the valve controlling the actuator with the help of the another valve, and another valve it is called it as the pilot operated chuck valve. Observe, what are the constructions of the pilot operated chuck valve? Here the pilot operated chuck valve contains the pressure port, and that is connected to the pressure line, and it contains the tank port that is connected to the tank. And here this is called it as the main relief valve. This main relief valve contains the spring as well as the stem. Then very important one, it is called here the pilot operated chuck valve having the piston, and this piston having the orifice, and this is drilled to the piston of the pilot operated chuck valve. Next, very important one, here the piston has equal areas. This equal area is exposed to the pressure on top and the bottom position, and this is exactly in the middle position. Why? Because here pressure of the air, it is equal on both the sides of the piston. That's why the piston is exactly at the center position. And as well as here the piston has the light bias spring that will going to ensure that piston is exactly at the center position. Okay, so if the system pressure is less than the set pressure, what happens? Then the pressure of the air is directly going to the from the inlet port to the tank port. If the system pressure is higher than the set pressure, what happens? Now the pressurized air, it will not flowing from pressure port to the tank port, because the valve stem closes the seat. Now this pressurized air, it is enters into the pressure port, and it will then enters into the top portion of the piston through this drilled orifice. Once this pressurized air fill the top portion of the piston, now it is passes through the pilot line, then it is enters into the main relief valve, and it will going to lift off its position. Okay, when the pressurized air, it is lift off the position of the main relief valve, then the pressure at the top side of the piston is going to reduces. Okay, so observe here, during this process, when pressure at the top side of the piston is reduces and the pressure at the bottom side of the piston is going to increases, then the valve stem is going to lift off its position. Now the pressure is going to relieve, and highly pressurized air from the pressure port, it is enters into the tank port. So this is the working of indirect pressure relief valve. Thank you.